A meek person and a wicked person. Now look at Psalm 25 verse 9. He said, God will teach the meek or guide the meek in judgment. He said, the meek will he guide in judgment, and the meek will he teach his ways. So when the man sustains meekness, humility, God makes himself his teacher. So even the ones that he's slow to understand, God quickens his understanding. Why do you think Moses was powerful? You think it's because of prayer? You think it's because of fasting? No. Numbers chapter 12 verse 3, the Bible told us, it said Moses was the meekest of all men on the earth. And because of his meekness, God empowered him so much. He said now the man Moses was very meek, above all men which were upon the face of the earth. So in the generation of Moses, he was the humblest of all men. And because of that, God exalted him. Because it's a principle in the kingdom. That's why James chapter 4 verse 10, the Bible summarized the totality of that principle to us. He said, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he said, he shall lift you up. So the man that God empowers, the man that God engraces, the man that God lifts up is the man who knows how to humble himself. Listen, your temperaments, your charisma will want to push you, giving you, and you need to understand that this thing is not just about action, because there are two dimensions of pride. There is a pride that is offensive and arrogant. That's the dimension of pride most people see. That's the pride that vaunts itself. It shows that it's superior to everybody. But there's another pride that is subtle. It's very subtle. It will take discernment to know it. That kind of pride is a pious kind of pride. When you find most people who are very pious and sanctimonious, most times deeply rooted in them is a huge pride. It's because of that pride that many times they are very afraid, they are very ashamed. So you see that some people, they don't want, the reason you never see them do anything is because they cannot take it if they make mistake. If they make a mistake and somebody talks about it, they will die. And in the same vein, if somebody offends them, it's difficult for them to forgive. So they harbor things in their heart. And I'm not saying every pious person is proud, but I'm saying it's a dimension of pride that is very subtle. So pride is not necessarily about action. Actions show pride, but pride is about a heart posture, where you think you are better, where you think you are greater, where you think you are the one who qualifies for it above all else. All of us are the head, not the tail. But when we think we are better than others and we deserve it more than others, then there's a problem. You know that pride has set in. And when God sees that, most times God will withhold it. Because when it has to do with the blessings of God, to enlarge your capacity to receive, you must grow in humility.